Hi, it's Shannon Thigpen with Shine Yoga. Today we're going to look at an inversion. Actually, we'll look at two. One is a bridge because the other is a shoulder stance. We've done the bridge before. There's a tutorial that breaks it down so you can look at that tutorial, but I'll do it here in case you're not going to do a shoulder stance. It's not for everyone, even a bridge isn't for everyone, but a bridge is like a prep for a shoulder stance. Make sure, friends, you follow Dr. Directives. You only do what's right for you. If I ask you to do something you know you shouldn't do, please don't do it. And when you're doing the pose, these inversion poses, you are not going to turn your neck to look at me. If you need direction, make sure you're not in the pose when you're turning your neck to look. Otherwise, you're facing straight ahead. Inhale, and one vertebra at a time, you can come down onto the mat. To go into your bridge, feet are close. You peel the spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders are down. You're on the shoulders, and your head is resting comfortably on the mat. You're engaging your core, glutes, hamstrings working. Your heels are down. Your feet could be wider apart or closer together. And then one vertebra at a time, bring the spine back down onto the mat. And that's what you'll do if you're not going into the shoulder stance. You need to have the core strength to lift your hips up and take your feet up towards the sky. So my upper arms are supporting me, core is engaged, and ideally I'm taking my feet straight up towards the sky, shoulder stance. Inhaling, exhaling. And then to come down, I'll bring my feet overhead, bring my hands onto the mat, one vertebra at a time, just like I would ask you to do in bridge, keeping the shoulders down as best you can. You really have to engage the core. And bring the spine back down on the mat. Once your hips are down, lower the legs on an angle that you can support. Maybe it's just on that angle, still close to the ceiling, and bend your knees, bring them in, or maybe you can go more parallel to the floor and ceiling. Make sure you can support your head when you do that. Okay, so you can do that a few times. And once you've done that, your bridge, if your feet were down, you did your bridge. Another thing we're going to do when we're in the shoulder stance, instead, you can come out of your bridge if you're in your bridge, right? Come back down. And once your hips are down, bring your knees up and take your legs up towards the sky. Lower one leg and lift. And do that leg 3 times, then switch. Now, if you notice that lowering the leg and bringing it back up, if that is too much for your low back, place the other foot down. Then lower and lift 3 times. And switch after you've done 3, and switch and do the other leg. So that's what you're going to do. If you've done the bridge, come out of the bridge. You can lift 1 or both legs up, 3 and 3. Or leave 1 foot down, lower, lift 3 times. Okay? Inhale, so go into your bridge if you're doing a bridge, or go into your shoulder stance if you're doing a shoulder stance. Inhale. If you're in your bridge, go ahead and lower your hips back down. Good. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so go ahead and lower your hips back down if you're in your bridge, right? If you're in the shoulder stance, your leg is going overhead 3 times. If you're in your bridge, your leg is lowering the opposite way, away from the head 3 times, and then comes back up, and you do the other side. I should have done that, right? kind of hitting it. You don't have to touch. I'm trying to touch the ground, but your leg might not touch. And come up. Then once you've done your 3, if you're in your shoulder stand, you're bringing both feet down and you're lowering down. If you've done your 3 and your hips are already down, then you'll come to this position, angle the legs, you lower on an angle that you can support, and then bend the knees and bring them in. Try to keep your shoulders down on the mat. Okay? All right, so if you're in the bridge, go into your bridge. If you're doing your shoulder stands, go into your shoulder stands. Good. If you're in your bridge, come down. Take one leg up at a time if you'd like. The other foot stays down and you lower. 3, 2, doesn't have to touch, but it's lowering the other way if your hips are down. 1, you're really engaging the core. This is my tighter leg. Really taking my time, engaging the core. Taking both legs overhead from the shoulder stands. And hands up to slow me down. Keep my shoulders down as best I can. You're really engaging your core there. And then lower the legs on an angle that you can support. Bring the knees in. So obviously, that is an advanced pose. It's not going to be for everyone, right? Go ahead and circle the knees. And it's okay to do the bridge or not, because you can lay on your bed, right? With your knees bent and your feet down, and take one leg up and lower lift. You can do that. You don't have to lower far from your bed. You have to engage your core. And maybe you're not going to lift your hips. Maybe you can lift, maybe not. And it's what? Whether you lift your hips or not, as long as you do it safely, whether you can lower both legs at the same time or have both legs up at the ceiling and lower one, it's what? It's all good. That's right. It's all good. All right. Keeping your knees bent or legs straight, back of the legs, or feet stay on the mat. You can roll up or just roll to your side and come up because it's all good. I'm Shannon Fig Pen. You do have greatness inside of you. Just start where you are and do what you can. I do believe in you. I'm Namaste.